The man or bear trend on TikTok has been something that's been surfaced the past week. I've been actually seeing this everywhere on my feed, and I've been seeing men get really mad because women are picking bear over man because they feel not safe around men. And then I looked at the situation thinking, okay, you don't feel safe around men. These are the horrible things you can do. But a woman could do that too, so I don't see the whole point of the comparison here, right? Human beings can do horrible things. Seeing any human randomly in the woods is quite terrifying, especially since I'm an introvert, so that would terrify me even more. But the regardless of that, I would I don't know. I mean, like if we're talking about the possibility of someone doing something bad, regardless of man or woman, I'd be scared because they could try to kill me. You don't know what they're gonna do, right? You don't know what their plan is. You don't know what, like if they talk to me and then I put, let's say I put my trust in them, and then they kill me in my sleep or something, or whatever it may be. I mean, I would be terrified, right, because they could do that, right? I'm not talking about statistics here because statistics are the dumbest thing ever, right? Statistics on what a specific group of people will do in crime wise is just dumb because I mean there's a statistic of women who do it as well, so I don't see the point, right? The way I see it is if a woman can do it, just like a man can do it, then it does not matter. The statistic, it still happens regardless of both sides of the coin. It still happens. So what's the point? It doesn't matter. But of course, people don't see it that way. They view it as it's important on the majority and not just the fact that the crime's being committed in the first place, which is a little concerning. A little concerning that people look at it that way. That it just doesn't really matter as much because it happens more with this gender than the other. That's a little concerning. I feel I'm concerned for you if that's how you view things. Now, this whole debate and this whole situation has gotten men angry, of course, because they don't like being compared to horrible monsters, and they also don't like being compared to a bear, but mostly the horrible monsters. Because I mean, I mean that's not as bad as being compared to a horrible monster. But ooh, jeez, that was a weird voice crack. I can't talk today. I've been voice cracking this entire time, and I don't know why. Anyways, this whole situation I feel like now is honestly causing more harm than good. The intention was apparently to make men see that women are more afraid of men, but I think all it really did is just make people angry. And the fact that it made people angry, I quite honestly feel like it just does more harm than good. I've seen men on TikTok talking about how what's the point in helping people? What's the point of being a good person if they're just going to see you as a horrible person? So they just say, what's the point? Screw it.
I chose my path, you chose the way of the hero. But the one thing they love more than a hero is to see a hero fail, fall, die trying. In spite of everything you've done for them, eventually they will hate you. Why bother?
I'm just not going to care anymore. So now you just made people apathetic because of this whole situation. It's like a whole domino effect of worse thing constantly, right? Um, And I can agree with that. I can understand that, right? It's like if people are going to demonize you, then there's no point in trying to be a good person, right? Like I'll put, especially now most of the people that are saying, "Oh, men are trying to demonize men," like really demonize men, are like 14-year-olds. But I'll explain something. I'll give a good example to the 14-year-olds thinking about this. All right. The 14-year-olds there, you probably watch My Hero Academia or something. So I'm going to give you an example of a character from that. Shigaraki. Guy has the worst power imaginable because if he can touch someone and make what their limb go away or make them go away and kill them. He could kill them, right? So he has a power. He does not have a power of a hero. Did he ask for that though? No, he didn't. Right? His power is demonized, hated, because it's something that it's hard to do good with. Maybe you could, but it's really hard to, and he's demonized and hated. And you know what he did? He became a villain because what people are going to see you as a scary monster. What's the point? You might as well be a villain. You might as well. There's no point in helping people if people are just going to view you with the power you have as this horrible beast, right? So you just go to villainy. Just go to that's so for those 14-year-olds here that are very curious on why men or when you say all men, and I'm very curious why men are getting being all like apathetic and like and like edgy and not caring, literally is because you demonized them and made them feel like the villain, so they're gonna be the villain. Now, I don't mean be the villain literally because they're not gonna like actually commit these horrible crimes, but more just be the villain as in like they're gonna just be assholes. That's what I mean by be the villain, right? So so you see my point, right? Shigaraki was villainized because of the power he has, and men are being villainized because of things they could potentially do based in their group. Because other men did horrible things, they could do them. They could, and I'm not going to put my trust in that. So I'm going to villainize them and demonize them. See that this doesn't help, right? All you're doing is creating bad men. And I wouldn't say bad men, but you could be creating bad men in the sense that like you're creating a lot of men that have less empathy and less care, right? Because I mean, let's be honest. I don't think like if a man did if this you're not creating like people committing horrible crimes because if they committed those crimes they were likely to commit those crimes anyways. Also, not only that, but if you're making this whole situation to try and teach men that like you got to do better, you got to understand this is really bad, everything's bad. I'm gonna just say this. If you basically you're getting upset that men aren't getting it and getting upset on why it's not actually working to help people understand things. I'll just say this. Uh, a man looking at this who would commit those crimes already are likely not going to look at this and be like, man, I shouldn't commit those crimes. Man, I need to really better my ways. I need to better they're not like if they already were gonna do it, then this ain't gonna stop them. This ain't gonna fix them. All right. You cannot fix them. You cannot fix them. No, but basically, this whole trend has basically caused hate. I feel like it's caused more harm than good, and probably shouldn't have been a trend in the first place. As you got to understand from the man's perspective, and men got to understand it from the women's perspective. But in the end, this is a trend that should not have been a thing. Like I've seen I've seen tons and tons of discourse and anger and people getting mad and people trying to mock men for getting upset because they're being compared to horrible monsters. And I'm just here really confused because I mean anyone is capable of these horrible things, not just men. So why are we undermining what women can do? Like what this is what happens when you generalize things in a group, especially based off statistics. But no, so this situation is bad now, and then you had people asking if you'd rather your daughter, and I mean like young daughter, like a little girl, be alone in the woods with a bear or a man, and I could understand why people would pick bear in the sense that the man could do something horrible to your daughter. You don't want that. However, the two things: why is your daughter alone in the woods? But also, your daughter being alone in the woods, I feel like I would be terrified if my daughter was around saw a bear in the woods because that bear could you don't know what that bear could kill your daughter. At least with the man, the man could possibly do something good or he could be doing something horrible, but he could do something good, right? Right, get her out of the woods, you know. Whereas like the bear, it will either it could attack or just leave it be. You know, I feel like this situation's iffy when you're talking about when you bring a child into it, which you probably shouldn't bring children into these hypotheticals and into your debates because it really makes a very even more complicated discourse. Uh, but no, this situation is been like just plaguing my TikTok feed lately, and I I just wanted to talk about it because I'm looking at this in the perspective of anyone could be bad, and I'm also looking at it in the perspective that you're not fixing anything, and you're not teaching anyone anything. You're just making people angry for the sake of making people angry. You're doing the exact thing that has been happening for the past few years, and that's demonizing men. It's been a common thing online to demonize men. And I feel like just adding something else to demonize men is not going to fix anything. But that's basically the situation, and that's how I've been looking at it. And I think that it's best that we just move on from this trend, right? It's best that we just like move it away because it's such a dumb trend, such a dumb like hypothetical, and it is really not fixing anything, right? Because you have people flipping the situation of would you rather be alone in the woods with a woman or a man, right? And all that, and it's like just at this point, just shut up. No one cares. It's like this trend has been going on for too long. It's time to move on from it. There's really no importance to it, and quite honestly, it's not fixing anything. So I don't know. I just think that this trend is the dangerous trend when it comes to you causing more discourse between genders. It's the gender war is intensifying because of this.
It's home there.
Touch the bear?
Don't touch the bear.
Punch the bear.
No, don't.
Oh shit! Oh shit!